Our topic is motion under gravity. Our topic is motion under gravity. What is motion under gravity? When an object is freely falling, when an object is freely falling, or or any object is thrown vertically upwards, or any object is thrown vertically upwards, then we consider acceleration is equals to small g. Then we consider acceleration is equals to small g, and this small g is gravitational acceleration. This small g is gravitational acceleration. Small g is gravitational acceleration. Now, we have discussed the equation of motion v is equals to u plus at. Second equation we discussed s is equals to ut plus half at square. And third equation we have discussed v square is equals to u square plus 2as. Now, if I am discussing this equation of motion under the influence of gravity, this a will be replaced by g, and I will utilize here sign plus and minus. This a is replaced by z, I will write it plus minus. This a is replaced by z, and I will write plus minus. So now these are equation of motion under gravity. These are equation of motion under gravity. I utilize the sign plus minus everywhere, and a I replaced by small g. A I have replaced as small g. A is equals to g, and sign is plus and minus. Why both signs I have considered? Because when object is moving upward and object is going downward, I have to take one direction positive and one direction negative. Make sure everywhere like this, upward direction usually you consider positive, and downward direction usually we consider it negative. So I will use only this convention, but it is not any standard. You can consider any direction positive, any direction negative, but I will suggest or advise you always follow the same sign convention. Upward direction you consider positive, downward direction you consider negative. It will avoid all kind of confusions to you. Note it down these things. Direction of G is always vertically downward. What is direction of G? Direction of G is always vertically down. Direction of G is always vertically downward. Always vertically downward. It is always vertically downward. But when object is moving upward, small g is going to oppose the motion. And when object is going downward, then at that moment, small g is going to support. If object is moving upward, small g will oppose the motion. It will be retarded motion. And when object is freely falling, at that moment, small g is going to support. It will increase the velocity, and now motion will be accelerated motion. First case, let a body is freely falling from rest. Let a body is freely falling from rest through height h. My situation, body freely falling. Initial velocity is given to you from rest, and given height is what? H. Body freely falling from rest, and given height is h. It acquires v velocity. It acquires v velocity after falling through height h. It acquires v velocity after traveling to height h in t time. There are the three things I find out. Body freely falling from rest from certain height h. It is acquiring v velocity when it's traveling a distance of h, and given time is t. So we have discussed the first point here. When object is freely falling from rest and height h, then it acquires v velocity during h height in time t. Now I am getting the expression. If I am using the first equation, then I can get t is equals to v by z. I applied the first equation, v is equals to u plus zt. U is your 0, then t will be what? T will be v by z. Here, I can utilize the t also in this manner. T is equals to root 2h by z. How? I have find out by use of second equation. S is equals to ut plus half at square. Value of u is 0. So S is h, and h is equals to half gt square. You will get t is equals to root 2h by g. And the third one, what is velocity v? V is equals to, I am getting here root 2gh. It is by use of third equation. V square minus u square is equals to 2as. V square minus U square is equals to 2AS. Here A is your G and S will be your H. This is the situation. Case 2. If an object is thrown vertically upward. Case 2. If an object is thrown vertically upward with velocity v, is thrown vertically upward with velocity v, and maximum height attained by object, is h, and time taken is t. Maximum height attained by object is h. Object is thrown with initial velocity v. These all parameters given to you. Now, how much time is take? I'm utilizing again the first equation, t is equals to v by z. How I'm getting it? I applied v is equals to u plus a. A is replaced by t. Now, at the highest point, velocity will become 0. So t is equals to what? T is equals to, you will get u by g. U is negative and both is negative. You will get time is equals to what? U will be what? V. Initial velocity given in question is v. So time will be root v by g. Sorry, time is equals to not root. Time is equals to only v by g. Now, same thing. If I calculate the time by use of height, s is equals to ut plus half at square. If you want to utilize it, so from there, time will be what? Time will get t is equals to root 2h by g. If maximum height is h, then time you can find out t is equals to root 2h by g. And if I am going to calculate velocity, at how much height, what will be the velocity? That v is same, that v is equals to root 2gh. See the both points carefully. Time of ascent. Point number 3, time of ascent is equals to time of descent. Make sure we are traveling or we are talking about motion in only vacuum. Motion under gravity in vacuum. No kind of air resistance, no kind of viscous, no kind of dissipative forces are involved here. Time of ascent is equals to time of descent. That is time taken by body to go up. Will be similar. Time taken by body to fall to the same heights. Time of ascent is equal to time of descent. Time taken by body to go upwards is similar to time taken by body to go down to same height. Then both times will be similar. And make sure I'm talking here the condition. What condition? That it is motion in vacuum. That means no kind of dissipative forces are involved. The next point is what? The speed with which a body is projected is equal to with which it returns to the point of projection. Make sure I'm considering here this is the motion in vacuum. This motion takes place in vacuum. Here you can consider here motion is in vacuum. There is no kind of air friction, no kind of viscosity. In short, there is no kind of dissipative forces. Then this is correct. Then only this is. Here, consider body freely falling from rest. Height covered during n second. Then what is the height covered in n second? So I utilize the formula. HN formula is what? That is u plus a by 2. 2n minus 1. This a will be replaced here by g. In the question, it is already given that value of u is 0 because it is freely falling from rest. So value of u is 0. Then what is HN formula remains? HN formula will be g by 2. 2n minus 1. In this formula, it is clearly visible that value of g by 2 is always constant. Value of g by 2 will be always constant. Here I can say, here g by 2 is always constant. Here g by 2 is constant. If g by 2 is constant, that means hn is proportional to 2n minus 1. That is, hn is proportional to 2n minus 1. That means, if I am going to find out here, here h first, ratio h second, ratio h third. What will be this ratio? This ratio will be 1:3:5. If I am going to find ratio here, height travel in first second, height travel in second, height travel in third second. So this ratio is coming into the odd numbers. This ratio is coming in odd numbers. Easy. What is the question? See the question. Prove that distance traveled during equal interval of time by body freely falling from rest is tend to one another in the same ratio as the odd numbers are beginning with unity. That means if I am taking every time interval of equal, that is 1 second time interval is there. Everywhere 1 time interval. Then the ratio of distance traveled will come here. We just derived this formula. We have developed the formula. HH is coming in the ratio of what? 1:3:5:7. How this formula is coming? That is the HH is proportional to 2n minus 1. Why this is proportional to 2n minus 1? Because in this situation value of u was 0 and g by 2 is constant. Value of u is 0 and g by 2 is constant. An expression of HN is what? That you will get u plus g by 2, 2n minus 1. That is the expression of HN. Expression of HN, u plus g by 2, 2n minus 1. Value of u is 0, g by 2 is always constant. That means HN is proportional to 2n minus 1. If you placing the value of n is equals to 1, you will get here 1. Place the n is equals to 2, you will get 3. In here, odd numbers ratio you are obtaining. That's why this was obtained odd number. So first I have given in this question, object is moving with 5 meters per second, acceleration constantly 2 meters per second square for 10 seconds. You have to find displacement in last 1 second and total distance traveled in the last second. Then how will you solve it? You will solve it by two different equations. Last second 24 and total distance is 150 meters. Okay, number of students responded, it is good, correct. I'm repeating the question. A tennis ball is dropped from the height of 4 meters on the floor. It rebounds up to a height of 3 meters. Ball is dropped from the height of 4, but after rebounding it is reaching to 3 meters. And contact time between ball and 4 is given to, that is 0.01 second. You have to find out what is the average acceleration.